the times they are changing. I really like these names.
Yeah,
For them.
the names have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, so we open on the train to the Empire.
Chicka chicka choo choo.
Yeah, Twilight wonders if they won't mind seeing her again so soon. Considering you spent the better part of 2 seasons not ever visiting your brother or mentioning him, I'm sure he won't mind you coming twice in 1 season.
Yeah, we don't talk about Shining that often. He has issues.
Well,
Yeah, his issues are called McFlurry and I almost called her Chrysalis.
Cadence.
Cadence.
Well, are you sure it's Cadence?
Pretty sure.
Dun dun dun. So we get, we get Twilight. You can learn about friendship anywhere, and they book in the episode with this. That's the series basically in a nutshell. They once did it inside of a comic book. Did a friendship inside of a comic book. They can do it literally anywhere.
They can do it anywhere.
Top of mountain,
That wrong
dragon
stream.
shy. While being attacked by a Hydra. Was it? Which one was that? Was it Feeling Pinky Keen?
Yeah.
While being chased by a Hydra. Okay.
It's like shush. It's like shush, Hydra, shush. We're having a friend.
We're learning
Back
a
off
bit.
and let us do this.
Friendship
Okay?
moments.
Yes. Well, a 60-foot beast is attacking the area with giant lasers. We did it. It's all been done. Chocolate rain? Yes, that's been done as well. Where haven't we done a friendship problem? It's good to see Glim Glam is excited to see Sunburst again. It's nice to see that friendship, or more, depending on how you read it, is growing nicely. Though what I've always kind of liked about Glimmer since her kind of
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, I was looking, there's another word. My mind is just blanking on words lately.
Happens to me a lot.
Yeah. Since her kind of redemption, that's the one I was looking for. But yeah, rehabilitation's the same thing. But since her redemption, we actually get to see her as her instead of the villain. And what I do really like about her character and the way that these guys, that it seems like a lot of them are writing, is she's incredibly pragmatic. It's like, no, that's stupid. And so,
She's basically Twilight Sparkle before friendship.
Yes,
That is true.
But I do like the pragmatism, and it would be funny if she got a little genre savvy as well. That would be funny. But I do like that Spike acts a little childish in this episode, especially with the incognito mode where he's just got the trench coat and hat and glasses.
Yeah, 'cause he is a child.
Yeah.
And we don't really see that much.
Yeah, it reminds us that he's still a baby dragon. He's so effective as her number one assistant that we don't.
It's easy to forget that he's still a baby.
Yeah, he's still a baby dragon, albeit for his age, very mature. Sometimes when he feels like it. But he can be super mature sometimes, and see things that Twilight doesn't, because he's got that kind of I'm on the outside looking in. I can see what's going on here, and I can give you an anchor, when you're going off on a weird tangent. One of the things I did like about that scene also is the way it's shot. Okay, they use shot, the way it's illustrated. They use very tight camera angles on each of the inhabitants so that they can set up the joke. We're the only ones.
There's
here.
no one else there.
Yeah, that was a great little bit of camera work, or the animation equivalent.
Framework.
Framework,
Yeah.
whatever whatever you want to call it, the equivalent of
Yeah.
camera work. But I like that. It seems Spike being so concerned about being mobbed by the Crystal Ponies. Don't think he's really looking to be incognito because his clothing makes him stand out even more. It may be just kind of a humble brag or a chance to wear something quote unquote cool.
I think it's the humble brag part because, you know, he's a kid and he's a superhero basically. And what kid doesn't want to be a superhero?
Yeah.
And he's all like, everybody loves me. I'm so cool. But I'm not supposed to be like that. I need to be humble. So I'm just going to.
Yeah, I'd be even cooler if I was humble about it. And I was trying not to be recognized. You know. Yeah. But it does set up. What it does nicely is it reminds the audience, if they're kids seeing the episode for the first, seeing Spike in the Crystal Empire, that relationship for the first time, they get that set up for them. Where if this is the first episode you're seeing for some reason, they're setting that up for them. It's a short way of setting up. This guy is beloved in this area for this reason. They throw that out there too. So this is their way of kind of
nice bit of exposition.
Yeah, it helps there. Theme. We get to the train station. Town's a ghost town. It was a good use of Tumbleweed and Hawkcry to emphasize the empty streets. This could have been a place where they could have had them meet them at the station, so they would have a chance to be replaced just off the train. We know if they're coming by train, then they're far away.
They didn't know they were coming, though.
You wouldn't think she would even send anything? Anyway, or they would have...
They seemed very surprised that they were coming.
Yeah. Or you wouldn't have guards at the trains just to make sure? I mean, this is
I was actually just about to say... I was just about to say that. Why weren't there any guards, or why wasn't the train shut down?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there should have been somebody there to meet them, and that would have removed any need to prove their identity. But then again, that wouldn't have allowed them to do the sunshine later on.
Yeah.
So we get Spike. So apparently, the residents of the Crystal Empire follow the rule of Clark Kent. Clark Kent's his way through the street, and suddenly the removal of the hat quickly sets up easily the Empire's fools. Crystal Ponies do seem pretty naive. They're fooled by a hat.
Well, what do you expect? They have crystal for brains.
Yeah. It always does seem like the Crystal Ponies are always treated like idiots. Just anyway. It's interesting to see.
They were under the rule of the idiot Sombra for so long. How can you can't really blame them.
His idiocy was contagious.
I am not an idiot.
His idiocy just rolled off onto him.
It was interesting to see Shiny back in his old armor. It shows the level of concern. And he's like, I'm going to put the armor on, just in case.
Well, it wasn't that shiny, so meh.
That's because he hadn't worn it in so long he didn't get a chance to dust it off.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in that since, what? The
wedding?
Yeah, the wedding. Just before the wedding, when they're coming into town. First thing we see of him, he's wearing the armor.
That's true. I wonder if he had to lose some fast weight to put it on. It's like, suck it in, honey, suck it in!
Yeah, he's...
Well, maybe. I mean, he has that new baby weight.
Yeah. And not only does the baby gain weight, the parents do too.
Especially the father, apparently.
They use Sunshine. It's a good callback to continuity. It's a good test. Though, personally, and I'm going to come up with these kind of personal, pragmatic decisions that seem a little off of what they should have done, but they ruin the kind of aesthetic of the story. Wouldn't they want to have been out of sight before they did that, just in case the Changeling was spying on them to see what was going on, and to kind of gain this kind of information? If you're going to use something for a verification, you want as few people to see it as possible. Or ponies in this case. But, again, pragmatic, the way I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to come up to a big one at the end. Okay. When have you ever known me to run away? By Spike.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
When have you not known him to run away? Seriously.
Not that it's his fault, because he's a baby. He should be
exactly.
scared.
I mean,
but
you can't expect a baby to go running into danger all the time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not blaming Spike for it.
I said that, and the brat's up at the top of the stairs, and he heard that, and he giggled.
Yeah, but is he really a baby? I mean, it's been like 5 years.
Technically, it's only been like 2 or 3, because I think it was the third season was when they finally had the 1 year mark with the raising the sun thing.
Yeah, and you could probably also count the Heartswarming Eve episodes as well as and Nightmare Night episodes as ways of telling approximately how much time we've had. We've had a couple of each, so that makes it probably roughly around 2 years.
Yeah.
Now that's and that's also to say if you're looking at his.
Hold on 1 sec.
I think somebody wants to join.
No.
Join.
Yeah, we're talking ponies. You can't join.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
You didn't see the episode. No, you're not coming up.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. But when you compare where he is in his lifespan to how old dragons can be, he's an infant compared to the rest of the dragons, probably. Given, they probably grow very, very, very slowly, given that, how long they live.
If you look at maturation level, like, it seems to me that they don't actually grow up based on a certain age range. They grow up based on certain evolutionary points, like we saw in
The Secret of My Excess.
Yes.
They grow up based on greed.
Yeah, they grow up based on greed levels. Oh my god, he stole Trixie! Speaking of greed...
Twilight.
Yeah, but that's giant Twilight. He can play with her. He cannot touch Trixie. Trixie's been traumatized.
No, Trixie has not.
He stole Trixie.
He's a baby. What do you expect?
Not if he keeps stealing like that.
Give her some peanut butter and crackers. You'll be okay. Anyway, let's see. Where were we? Yeah, it's still hard to believe they actually call him brave and glorious. But I guess it serves well to inflate his ego and get his pride up. Because with Spike, pride cometh before a pratfall, and it does. As soon as he kicks a rock, he's
What?
he's sliding down the side of a thing down to a precipice.
Can't come up.
He's either one strong dragon or that was a 1 weak rock.
Yeah, or a little of both, mostly the latter.
Let's see. I like the old mirror gag he uses. It worked in I Love Lucy, and it works here too.
I didn't watch I Love Lucy, but it's been in a lot of things.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
off of
just the most well known, I think, use of the mirror gag, because she had Harpo, and they did the mirror gag, and that was a pretty popular episode. Let's see. I do like that they gave the Changeling a bit of a dorky voice. It adds to kind of the outcast feel.
It was cute.
He does save Spike from falling off the cliff, which helps endear him to Spike.
He saved him twice.
Yeah, well, I'm going in order of what happened. So we finally get a show canon look at the Changeling Hive. It's been shown in the comics, but I don't think we've ever seen it in the show, in the animated show.
Oh,
It's
you haven't seen it.
Yeah, so this is our first actual canon look at it in the show proper. But it's cool enough.
They're so cute and tiny.
And angry.
They were cranky little babies. Larva.
Yep. It is nice to see Spike get cut down a peg when Thorax doesn't recognize him. It's like, no, I don't no idea who Spike is. So now you know.
Then again, I was raised by
an evil queen, yeah.
an evil.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, queen.
But then again, now you're getting a little taste of what Twilight and the others feel on a normal basis. It's like, we've saved the world how many times, and nobody knows who we are? I've got freaking wings and a freaking horn, and both at the same time.
Yes, I can.
Alicorn. How does somebody not recognize that?
Yes.
I can use my wings to rub my horn. I mean, never mind.
You know, I'm a mother effing princess. Respect, please. I earn this stuff. I earn this stuff. I intend to be respected. But that's not. All right. Anyway, let's see. The incredulity of the guards and Shiny is appropriate, given that, in fact, all changelings but one have been shown to be hostile monsters. When Spike says he's befriended one, I mean, they literally, this isn't like, oh, there's this segment that's like that. No, this is the entire freaking colony, except this one changeling that we found. This is the only example of this, this there, and we saw no others in the hive that were like him. So
well, technically, it's the second changeling.
Well,
Who was the first?
Slice of life.
Okay, yeah, I suppose, and it's the yeah. Anyway, but considering the very large minority, the very not large minority, but the very tiny insignificant minority that aren't complete jerks, your odds are pretty good so far of picking out that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense because that's not how changelings typically behave.
And I think that Shining was very justified in being cranky. It's like, that joke is not funny. Because, I mean, it was his freaking wife, the mother of his child, that was replaced and locked up by a changeling.
Yeah.
I think he was justifiably pissed.
Yeah, he was not happy. Yeah. And so so Shiny's not real happy about it. The next bit, we get the, of course Twilight would have a set specifically for pen pals.
Mm-hmm.
This organization has a specific set just for pen pals. It's like, you can't use regular paper and pen. No, it has to be the pen pal set.
How many pen pals does she have?
0. That's why she was so excited when she found out Spike had one.
Yeah, she may have gotten it as a gift and was like, I can't use this because it is specifically for pen pals. I'll have to wait till I have a pen pal to use it. Oh wait, Spike has a pen pal now. I can give it to him.
Yep.
Spike, use it! I can't stand seeing papers go unused for so long!
But I can't use it myself because I don't have a pen
I
pal.
can't use it because I don't have a pen pal! Twilight, why don't you just, like, go and do that convict pen pal thing? Like, because Princess Celestia doesn't lock people up. Oh, right. You have a dungeon now?
We do?
Yeah, you know, one of those sexy dungeons.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
no
not the kind of
comments.
Spike, when I labeled that as the dungeon, that's not the kind of dungeon I meant. What kind
Oh,
did
that
you
brings
mean?
back memories.
What does sexy fun time mean at the front of that?
You're too young for that. Let's move along.
That brings back memories.
Is that why Flash Sentry is down there all the time? I thought he was just guarding it.
Yeah, guarding it. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and what's with the maid's outfit?
I needed somebody to clean it. Yes, clean it. Yeah, and maid uniforms are the best uniforms for people who are going to clean things. Why else would they use them?
Okay.
All right, moving along.
I guess that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another problem. It's like nobody.
I know he took it.
Nobody checks to see if Thorax is a Crystal Hoof's a changeling before entering a room with some of the most powerful ponies on the planet.
What?
Save the sisters.
Well, I mean, he's with Spy. And glorious.
They checked Twilight before they let her. They checked Twilight before they let her anywhere near them. So
That's true.
They wouldn't have checked Crystal Hoof, and you wouldn't have think they would have put some serious resources towards changeling detection between the wedding and now, especially with what happened. Put some research on scanning spells and whatnot, looking for spells and means to discover if somebody's a changeling.
Didn't Twilight learn the changeling detection spell in that alternate universe where the changelings had taken over?
I don't remember. I know that they had that salve that little goop that Zakora had that was supposed to reveal if they were changelings or not. But other than that, I don't know that there was something like that. But if there was, then yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have taught that to every unicorn you could get your hands on. And it's not like you didn't have research material. I'm gonna go a little Obsidian Order Tal Shiar here a little bit, but you've got, not all of those changelings probably survived the attack. Given that the guards are inept, but you'd think at least one of them would take out a changeling.
Right.
You didn't collect any carcasses of any changelings to do some, research and development on ways to detect them. I mean, it's a little dark, but it's what you do in the intelligence services, and you don't have an intelligence service.
Well, they're crystal ponies. They don't really have much intelligence.
Yeah. I know I'm reading way too deep in this, and I'm thinking way too Tal Shiar, Obsidian Order sort of with this, but that's something I would do if I was in charge of intelligence. I would have those carcasses down to some sort of research and development to see if we could figure out a way to detect them.
Somebody's been playing too much Star Trek Online.
Yes. Well, we'll get to the end, and then I'll really come to it. The montage does a good job of showing the passage of time to progress the story, though it could have stood being just a little bit longer, a few more scenes, but it was okay. It was good.
True.
I think I already covered that. Yeah. We get Spike betraying Thorax. It's an easy thing to do in the situation to save face.
Especially a little kid like him.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that shows he's still just a baby. He's still just a little kid who is trying to fit in.
Yeah. He's a good kid, but he's prone to the same problems that every other little kid has.
Yep.
And that's asking a lot of him.
I mean, you break something, you try to deny it. You know, something's wrong, you try to be like, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. One thing that was kind of that I would say would be a bit of strategy when dealing with a shapeshifter. Always travel in pairs or more.
Yes.
Always travel in pairs or more. If you're going to go search, you always keep you have at least one partner with you at all times, and you keep an eye on them.
I thought that at first when they had 3 people with Spike, and Spike's like, you go over there, you go over there. And it's like, shouldn't you and somebody go over there and those 2 go over there so that you have 2 and 2?
Nobody's left alone. You never leave anybody alone during a shapeshifter invasion because they could just slip in and say, "Oh yes, I'm back." They could just take out some one person.
Every single shapeshifter continuity has that rule.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a shapeshifter, be it in Star Trek, be it in Doctor Who, be it in, I think there was an episode of Lois and Clark's Superman that had that. Anytime you see you're dealing with shapeshifters, you travel in pairs.
Yes.
At least.
Yes. But let's say you briefly get separated from your partner. How do you know he's not a shape? Yeah, but it always happens. Like he falls down a hole or trips on a rock or something like that happens, and then Changeling switches places with him. It always happens.
Yes, but but when you are planning for it, you always assume that they're going to try and stay together, and the best way to prevent that problems from occurring is to have the pair system. But I digress. It's another Tal Shiar Obsidian Order sort of thing. Subtle animation thing, but at seeing Thorax again, Sunburst adjusts his glasses with his magic. It's really quick, and it's a blink and you miss it sort of thing, but you can see, oh my, sort of thing going with his glasses.
I hope they don't know that I am truly a changeling.
We get a rare Spike song.
That wasn't completely atrocious.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, but I still prefer it.
Yeah. That reminds me of one thing I was going to say. There is one thing, though, that they could always tell if it was Spike or not. Have him do his fire thing. I doubt the changelings could recreate that sort of thing. And so if they can't recreate that sort of thing, it would be a good identification test for Spike. Just like, you, blow fire. Blah. Okay, you're you.
Spike, take a letter.
Blah. Yeah.
Okay, where do you want to poor Princess Celestia.
I would have preferred the no Spike singing, but I did learn a new lesson about Equestria. A simple song can change any pony's mind.
This is true.
It is a little quick, and I'll get to why it's a little quick to suddenly trust.
His friend, be his friend. Okay, where's friend?
Anyway, one thing I did like was it's a subtle thing, but it's a callback to an old episode. Twilight's like, I guess every pony still has things to learn about friendship, even me. That's a growth callback to What About Discord. It's not the same writer as that episode, but they brought it back. Okay. Now I'm putting on my pointy ears. Okay, I'm putting on the little chain thing and going Tal Shiar with this. Okay, call me a bit Romulan, but I still wouldn't trust him quite so quickly. This is exactly the kind of tactic the Changelings would employ in order to get a double agent into the Empire, by manipulating a bit of a naive and all too trusting pony or dragon when it becomes convenient. Note that Spike fell through a hole that led directly to a slope down to a precipice. Possibly intended to set up the life-saving to endear himself to some pony and manipulate them. Spike just happened to grab the stalagmite. The first fall was just a lucky opportunity to continue the plan. The second was to maintain his place in the game, his piece in the game. So Thorax, for as much as he could, as it's an MLP, it's My Little Pony, so he should be good, because that kind of ruins the whole episode if he turns on them. But if I was Chrysalis and I wanted to get even with Cadence and the rest of them, this is exactly how I would do it. I'd get me a double agent in there, and when the time is right, he'd turn on them and do something. If I was about to invade, he'd be watching us come in, and when Shining goes to raise the shield, he whacks him on the back of the head, and shield's down, get in there.
Yes, but I don't really think Bug Brain is much of a thinker.
Yeah, no.
But
she's about as much of a thinker as, say, Sombra.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
some of them are very smart.
Her original plan had so many flaws.
Yeah,
but it did almost work.
Yeah, it almost worked if the
It would have worked too if it weren't for your meddling kids and your stupid dragon.
Yeah, and the love beam.
Maybe
how was she supposed to know that was going to happen?
Maybe you should have been nice to your fake. Well, maybe you should have been nice to your fake fiance's sister.
Yeah, there was a lot of unnecessary, venom in her dealing with Twilight during that time, but overall, the plan almost worked. She had almost everything taken care of. And so, I mean, as clunky as it was, it did almost work. And if I again, putting on my little pointy ears, this is what I would come to as a solution. So that, and once I've set him up, I use him to set up more agents until I've got enough agents in there where I can betray them effectively and take them out while they're, basically take them out at the knees and then take them down with a big force.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my own evil machinations.
Yeah.
But that's basically all I had to it. I mean, it works for why this episode works for why Spike believes Thorax, but it's a little quick for everybody else to just accept him.
Yeah.
Just put a shock collar on him.
Way too fast at the end.
Yeah, especially when you've had so bad a dealing with them,
It's like
I said, a simple song fixes everything.
Like, my wife almost died because of them. Yeah, hey, come on, let's be buds.
Yeah, I mean, if Spike had still
at least had some sort of trial or some sort of. I understand time constraints, so they couldn't, but some sort of trial or some sort of, test to prove he's not evil.
Yeah,
he didn't even tell his sob story to them.
Yeah.
I understand he told Spike this sob story and was all like, I just really want a friend. And so Spike's
sorry for me.
And Spike's like, oh, I understand. Okay, cool. Let's be friends. He didn't even tell his sob story to these guys. How they're just taking Spike at his word. They're just like, well, Spike says he's okay. Sure, he's just a baby. What does he know? But yeah, he knows all. We'll believe him.
Yeah, and it would have been interesting to see if maybe one of the ponies, like, you know, Shining Armor. Shining Armor would probably be the good one for this. Would have reservations still about him. Would kind of still look at him at the end of the episode with a, you know, like as they're closing the scene and everybody's kind of smiling and happy and looking at each other, you know, and just all in one picture. You see, it'd be a subtle thing. Just have Shining looking over at him, keeping a watchful eye on him, a suspicious eye on him. Like, I don't trust him.
Or just like a brief frown that he masks.
Anything, an eye.
I mean, especially Shining Armor. That was his Shining Armor and Cadence. That was his wife, dude.
Yeah, and you know, it wouldn't be surprising for me. That wouldn't surprise me from Shining Armor if he was, you know, protective and still suspicious of Thorax.
And then they just go and hand the kid over to him.
Yeah, that was the exact wrong thing to do. You know, if he was a double agent, it was like, dude, this was easy. You know,
right?
Joink, run.
It's like, thanks, bye.
Yeah. You know, this is way easier than Chrysalis made it out to be. This series has turned into kind of the Oprah of redemptions. Like, you get a redemption, and you get a redemption, and you get a redemption, and you get a redemption.
I think the only bad guys so far, that haven't been redeemed are the ones that are either dead or banished into oblivion.
Well, Summer's like, can I have redemption?
No. You exploded.
No. Okay.
Yes, Sombra did.
T-Rex back in Tartarus. But they didn't send him there in the first place. They just put him back where he belonged. You know. Yeah, basically. Discords were formed. Trixies were formed. Glimglams were formed. Sunset Shimmers were formed. Everybody gets a reformation.
Okay, now we all have to agree on something. The Crystal Ponies would have instantly became friends with Thorax if he was voiced by Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman? Why not? Why Morgan Freeman? Well, the fact that they can do...
He's like, be our friend!
I don't think Morgan Freeman has the voice for a pity party.
That's why it would have been
It's impossible to pity Morgan Freeman.
I know. That would have
not even Mr. T could do it.
Or
no. They needed a crystal pony as Mr. T. I pity that changeling.
But at any rate, it works okay as an episode, just a little fast on the redemption, on the acceptance of the redemption. I still hold he's a double agent. It makes too much sense.
Yeah, I mean, they could have, like, taken out the song and used that time for other important stuff.
You just don't like his singing.
Well, the song works for what it does. I mean, it's supposed to be they sing a song and everybody, you know, joins my position. That's the kind of thing that works out here in Ponyland. You know, it's you know, I sing a song, you change your opinion, everybody.
First gen.
Well, what would be funny would be if we got something like that. We got a song, okay? That's supposed to be, everybody's supposed to change their mind. It's supposed to be this kind of song that you get, you know, why can't a changeling change? That sort of song. But at the end, they're like, nah.
Changelings, man.
Everybody's like, nah. Just completely no-sells the song. That would be funny for once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you kind of notice that they, even after the song, they're all still like, and Twilight's like, oh, Spike, you did great.
This is true. But if the Princess of Friendship says he should be redeemed, he should be redeemed.
Well, it's more like, wait, she's the Princess of Friendship and an element of harmony. She could probably annihilate us.
If we don't go along with what she says.
Yes. She's probably PMSing right now, so let's just listen to her.
Anyway,
Anyway.
any other thoughts on this episode? It was a decent episode.
My nephew just ruined my Trixie.
Well, it's a good episode.
Got something nasty on her tail.
Aww. It was I liked it. Times they are changeling.
All right. Well, I think that's everything for this episode.
Yeah.
Let's move right along.